All right, welcome everyone to episode 18 of the Easy Talk podcast. Today we're going to be talking about buy here, pay here. Buy here, pay here financing versus bank financing.
That's correct.
So we're going to be discussing about the differences, why one is good, one is better, whichever you prefer, whichever works better for you. So
Let's start with buy here, pay here. Basically, a buy here, pay
What
here.
is buy here, pay here?
It's an
Fez?
in-house finance that the dealership will finance the car for you themselves. You'll make the payments directly to the dealer. Usually, the good thing is less stipulations. They ask for very little proof of income, residence, and all that stuff. As long as you put the down payment, most likely
Right.
they'll put a GPS tracker in the car because
Right.
it's a risk that they're taking, and they're not a bank. So they're in the business of selling cars, not really financing. But like I say, it's an in-house finance from the dealer. You'll make the payments directly to the dealership.
As the name says it,
Buy here, pay here.
buy it here and pay it
Exactly.
here.
Usually, the characteristics of a buy here, pay here is very high interest rate. Most of them will finance you at the highest interest rate allowed by the law, depending on the state.
Or close to it.
28%, 27%. They also want the car to be paid off as soon as possible. So most of the buy here, pay here's, they're financed for 2-3 years. I don't really see longer than that. Otherwise, it will take way too long for the dealership to recover their investment in the car and get the profit and all that. This is designed for, people with a lower credit, or people who are not able to get a loan through a conventional bank,
Right.
Auto lender or a credit union.
Right, because if you have
a
a
bank.
good credit history and you have a good credit score, you'll probably get financed through a bank, which will give you the benefit of maybe a longer term or
Low
maybe
interest rate.
lower interest rate. So you'll get some benefits that it's hard to get with a buy here, pay here.
Which is almost impossible.
Yeah, because
You know.
they're all high interest.
Yeah.
High interest.
High interest, and they want the car to be paid off as soon as possible.
Right.
They're not going to finance it for 60 months, 72 months, 50, like I say, usually 24 months
Right.
up to 36
Well,
months. That's
unless-
what we've seen.
Unless like Toyota and stuff like that, they have their own financing, which could be like a buy here, pay here. But right, they
yeah.
have big pockets, so they
It's
can.
it's a financial institution
it's
at
pretty
the
much
end of
like-
the day. So that's it, pretty much for buy here, pay here. Also, you'll tend to find older cars on a buy here, pay here lot with high miles, maybe over 150,000 miles, just for the simple reason that the dealership will not have too much money invested in the car, so they're not going to take too long to recover the investment and then make the profit. So that's what we're talking here, terms of no more than 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So like I said, older cars, probably 05, 06.
Yeah, because buy here, pay here takes a big toll on the dealerships because
Yeah.
it's. Imagine that you are buying a car. If you're a dealership, you're buying a car for $5,000, and then you are financing it yourself to a customer, and the customer is only giving you $1,000 down, so you are out of $4,000. So
Actually more, because the dealer has expenses,
So
like taxes and all that.
it's a big toll for the dealership. So they try that the cars that they sell through buy here, pay here are lower in cost.
Lowering cost, and also the down payment tends to be a bit higher because the dealership is going to try to cover all the expenses of the sale with the down payment, because they have to pay taxes on the sale, then the license and registration, the title and everything. So all that the dealership will is gonna try to recover or get as much money on the down payment, so they're not gonna be out of pocket when they sell the car. That's just the behind the scene, and from what we see on the dealer side. But the basics, older cars with high miles, the prices are very low, so the dealership is not financing too much on you. They'll try to get as much as they can as soon as possible they can. So the payments might be higher. I've seen buy here, pay here for $400 on 2006 cars. Cars from 2006, 2007, for the simple fact, doesn't mean they're overpaying on the car. It's just for the simple fact that the dealership is trying to get as much money as possible as soon as possible. They just want to recover all the money quick.
Right, because if it's an older car, you don't want to finance it for that long either, because the car is gonna break down. So you want to do it fast. If you're buy here, you want to get the money, the investment back fast.
Right. On the other hand, conventional lenders, such as prime banks, subprime banks, credit unions, financial institutions, big financial institutions, a loan through them is completely different from a buy here, pay here, because they're gonna look at your credit history, they're gonna look at your employment.
Right.
If you have a solid credit history, they obviously gonna give you a lot of advantages. They're gonna reward you pretty much, and hey, we're gonna lend you $20,000 at 2%. That's for having good credit history, and you're gonna pay us back in 70 months. So the payments are very low interest on the car, which is, like I said, it's day and night compare us to a buy here, pay here.
Higher to get approved
It's
than
harder.
buy here, pay here,
Yeah.
because we're comparing buy here, pay here. It's just me here saying, okay, you're approved.
Right.
Lender is you have to actually get approved.
They analyze
They
your
analyze all the
profile.
everything, and they have to. The result has to be a good result for them to actually lend you that money. So it is higher. It is harder, but it's usually better.
Yeah, because they also want to see some history of you making payments on a car before. Like I said, they analyze everything. The more solid the customer looks, the better the approval is gonna be for the car. They also look at which kind of car you're buying. If it's a diesel truck, lenders love diesel trucks or Toyotas or Honda, just for the simple fact that it's a more reliable car. That they all look at all that kind of thing. So it's day and night, getting an approval through a lender, because you get 2% rate, 3% rate, and on a used car, which is great. So that's pretty much. It's a little bit harder to get approved through a conventional lender, because
Right.
they're able to offer better things, but they don't offer those benefits to everybody. They're very selective.
Right.
So that's pretty much
Yeah.
the other good thing about conventional lenders. They will let you finance and extend the warranty, which is a great deal. If an extended warranty will cover up to the value of the car, and if you're only paying 2%, 3% on something that you're not paying up front, why not? That is gonna
Right.
cover your back if something happens to the engine, that you need a brand new engine, $4,000, the warranty is gonna cover it. So
Right.
it's a lot of
Yeah.
benefits.
Well,
So
and buy here, pay here, they can do that too.
they can,
finance.
they can, but most of the buy here, pay here's don't do that, because again, it's more out of pocket for the dealership.
Right.
But it depends.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, some dealerships do.
Yeah, it's possible, but it's harder as well.
Another thing that I want to touch on is buy here, pay here, and bank financing. if you're committed to your payments and you're actually making your payments on a bank loan, your credit is gonna get affected in a positive way. So your credit's gonna get
True.
better. It's gonna get good. On a buy here, pay here, some dealerships do report to the credit bureaus, and then some others don't. So if you buy a car, buy here, pay here, and they don't report, and you're actually making your payments and everything is going good, your credit is not getting affected in a positive
It's
way.
not gonna
So
help.
that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else? I think we touched
I mean,
on
I
good
think
things.
I think just buy here, pay here, and bank lending. It's two different things.
Yeah.
I see buy here, pay here as a necessary evil, uh, honestly, because I think it's just better a bank loan or even a credit union loan. Those are the best ones. But not everyone has the access to it. Things happen, and credit score for some people are not as good for whatever reason, so they have to go to a buy here, pay here. But yeah, if if you have the opportunity, I would say try it with a bank, with a lender, with a credit union, with a financial institution.
Right.
Hmm.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So yeah, that's it for today, guys, and take care.
Boom.